life. Please take a moment to send your story to marathonchurch.org/mystory. Also, if you would like to support this ministry financially, you can do so by visiting marathonchurch.org and choosing the giving option that works best for you. Thanks again for joining us, and we hope you enjoy today's message.
I got something we're going to do. Now, I have a present, of course, for everyone. Okay? Just letting you know, we have a present for you. We're not going to give it to you today, though. We're going to wait Christmas Eve. Is that good? Because you can't get it early before Christmas. That's the thing. I got to go to Dollywood this week. You know I love Dollywood. Now, this is kind of interesting how it happened. I go to Dollywood on Wednesday, and I'm wearing shorts and sweating. You know what I'm talking about? Like, somebody's mad, you know, kind of thing. And then I go on Thursday, and it's raining, and I have a little light jacket. You know, it's like 50-something degrees, you know. Then I wake up Friday morning, and it's 30-something degrees, and it's snowing downtown Gatlinburg. So I don't know what that is, and then Christmas Eve is going to be like suntan coming up for you guys. So it's going to be fun. I got Dollywood. Now, I don't know how many of you you don't like change. Is that most people don't like? Most of you are sitting in the same spot, pretty much, that you normally sit in, unless you're new. If you're new, if nothing happens to you and you actually come back, you'll probably sit there, because that's just the way it works. So, but we go to Dollywood. And, there are some things you just don't mess with. You know what I'm talking about? There are certain traditions you just don't mess with. You know, you just don't change something because you think you ought to change it. Well, Dollywood changed something. Okay, I'm going to speak to Dolly when I talk to her, when I see her next time. They changed this. We always go for the Carol of the Trees. If you don't know what the Carol of the Trees are, and they're like, it's one big old tree in the middle, and there's a bunch of trees around it, and it has like doves and all kind of stuff, and soldiers marching, and it's just beautiful, you know. Well, they moved it. It was on a lake. Live ducks would fly in. I don't think God had something to do with that, but they fly in. So they took the tree, and they moved it up in a spot in Dollywood where nobody really likes to go. Okay. And so instead of it's Carol of the Trees, it's like Carol of the Tree. You understand what happened? So they took all my trees away, they took my doves away, they took my soldiers away, and they gave me one tree. And they played all this music that we did not know. And so I turned into one of those people. I want to complain. And who do I talk to? So I think it was Brenda, or somebody might have been Lynn, went to the staff, and they said, "What'd y'all do with our trees? I mean, you're killing them. You're killing the thing." And the staff says, "We can't say anything because they will not listen to us. But if you're buying a ticket, please go complain." And so everybody did. So all these people were complaining. Have y'all noticed that we have made some changes in the worship center? Has anybody noticed? Raise your hand. What have you noticed? The chairs are moving, right? How many like the chairs where they are right now? Come on now, help me out now. It hurt. I have a reason for doing it, okay? It's not because I just want to make you mad, okay? And that kind of thing. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the whole deal right now. I got to get down there. So if y'all would just kind of look away and pray as I try to move, I'm going to try to get down here. If I can't, what? No. Now I'm going to sit here just for a few minutes. Okay, guys, very good. I'm so glad y'all here and everything. Welcome home. And then when I come down here. There we go. Get the towel out. We're going home. Get the towel out. What is this towel? Do y'all know the towel, what the towel is? Give me a name of the towel. Terrible towel. Who's that? Pittsburgh. Y'all from Pittsburgh? Did y'all know they're from Pittsburgh? Look right here. See, you don't know who's out there, do you? We're going to find out. I'm going to embarrass all of you. Not really. No, I'm not going to do that. Where's my Possum Kingdom couple? Is my Possum Kingdom couple here? I bet they were in the first service. Well, I always want to talk to somebody from Possum Kingdom. But we have somebody who loves the terrible towel. What else you got? What's the other towel? The what? Rally rag. Is that Tigers? Don't yell at me and hurt me. I just asked, what is that? Does Clemson have a towel? They should get a towel. Man, they're number one. They should get a towel. I'd get a towel that said number one on it and sling that thing around, wouldn't you? It's kind of right. One of the things that's happened, that's the landscape of the church is changing a little bit, or a lot. And so we're going to try to help you figure out what's going on, okay, with the church. Now, one of the things that I would say, we call this the big move that happened 20 years ago. It's called the big move. And what happened was God decided to do something out of a traditional church. And y'all, you know that we're in the Bible Belt, right? So we're supposed to be the most spiritual people in the world, okay, which isn't working out. But we're here. And so we're in the Bible Belt. God comes in with this move, and he wants to call it, and we'll just call it what it is, the contemporary church movement. So God comes in and says, we're going to do something different. And so the move happened. And one of the things that happened to get people to come to church, you just had to change some music. You had to wear blue jeans, and you had to serve donuts, and you could get a crowd. Isn't that amazing? Did you hear that? Change the music, I don't have to dress up, and that kind of thing, and you could get a crowd. And it actually worked. So 20 years ago, this was new. And then we started all these churches all over South Carolina, and they just got bigger, and everybody started coming, and everybody's doing the same thing. They're doing blue jeans, they're doing donuts, you got to have a band, you got to have lights, you got to have smoke. All this stuff had to happen, or you just can't worship. You can't come to church, you don't have all that. That is absolutely what happened. And then we made it pretty easy to come to church. Everybody could just show up, and then we created this thing called a social media church. Where it's called Church on the Run. I don't have to really be here. I can just go, I can pick it up on my phone. I can watch it here and watch it there. Or I can just drive by the church and try to feel something as I go by. So we've created these things, and then we've created another thing that most people who come to church who say they're regular attenders, it's usually they come twice a month. And they're regular attenders, or once a month. And now or once every 6 weeks. Many of you, y'all see this package? Y'all see that up there? It's called The Wait is Over. All right? Did you know that most of you have no idea we're in a series? Because you're so that's kind of what's happened. So we created a church of more or less drive-by church, more or less church on the run, and social media church, and that kind of thing. And the new generation that is looking at the church isn't impressed with the big building and isn't impressed with the lights or the sound. Now, think about this. That music you hear, is that incredible or what? Is it not incredible? It really is. They surprised me with that song. They did with the guitar thing going on because they were messing with me. They didn't want me to know that. They were just you messing with me, wasn't you? But I'm just saying to you, everybody does music. Everybody does sound and lights, and some do it bigger than others. Some do it smaller. Some do this. So what is the church? What are we missing? You see, this is the next thought as we move into the next phase. As I'm here another 25 years, I'll say, or somewhere in there. I'm just a young thing. And as I move into that, what is the next? What are the people looking for? This is something that we have to look at and what we're thinking about. One of the things that I've noticed that people, nobody knows anybody's name. It is amazing. Let's do this before I even get there. Let's do this. What happened? Let's just ask this. Do you think Jesus was more comfortable inside the church or outside the church? Jesus more comfortable in or out? Out. Oh, okay. Was it because, so Jesus liked to hang out with sinners more than saints. Is that right? Is that what you're thinking? Okay. All right. Because what happened was Jesus was trying to hang out with people who needed him. So let me give you a verse and let me show you what happened. And we're gonna switch something. Is there anything we could possibly learn from Jesus Christ? Yes or no? Is there anything you could possibly learn from a bar? Whoa, okay, just let you hold that thought. Don't yell at me. And if you're traditional, hang on. Hang with me. Let me read something to you. Because what has happened, and I want you to understand this, what is happening to the church, that we are called the contemporary church. We're now called the contemporary traditional church. Because now we are the norm. Everybody does this. Everybody has great music. Everybody has video. Everybody. Now we got to work on HD, and we got to work on that and this. There's something that's missing because all the churches, I don't care how big they are, people aren't coming like they used to. Even the biggest churches around us are reporting decline, and things are going down. You know, it's like, can we not impress you? Can we not blow enough things up? Is the music not loud enough? Let's don't even go music, because y'all, I mean, oh my goodness. That's the number one fight we had in the last 20 years is music. It's too loud. You don't play our songs. I don't know that song. I know. You know what the worst thing is? We don't know you. We don't know you. And so when Jesus has this conversation, why did he do this? Let me read it to you. Matthew 9, 10 through 12. While Jesus was having dinner at Matthew's house, many tax collectors, the scum of the earth people, IRS, if you work for IRS, I love you. I don't know. I'm just telling you what they're saying. And sinners, isn't it funny how I identify this? And sinners came and ate with him and his disciples. While the Pharisees saw this, church people saw this, they asked his disciples, why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners? You know? So on hearing this, Jesus said, it is not the healthy who need a doctor, but it is the sick. Jesus was hanging out with the people who needed him. You see, it wasn't about the church or where he was. It was about people. You see, one of the things that Jesus was doing is that he was getting at the table with those people, learning their name and understanding their story, and he's saying, I can help that. That's not what we do. We don't do that. You know what we do? Come in, welcome. Thank you for coming. Please don't hear what I'm not saying. I think this is great, but I don't know who you are. And then you come in here. I love this. You come in here, and then I'm going to tell you what you ought to do with your life. You're like, that's good, isn't it? And I'm going to use scripture. You better live right, you better do right, and you'll be all right. I'm going to tell you how to do it and what you ought to do. And here's the thing. I don't know you. I don't know your story. So how am I supposed to help you? So that's what Jesus did. Is there anything that we could learn, let's just, from a bar? Is it possible? Because many of you probably were there last night. Okay? You don't have to raise your hand. Just help them raise their head. Okay, like that. That's good. All right. And so let's do this. Let's go to the bar real quick. Let's go to these places, and there's a reason why people go. And I'm going to show you. You see this? You like that? Wouldn't you like to see that? This is all. Y'all go ahead and do this right here. Y'all go ahead and do that. Go ahead. You go. Okay, I'll show y'all. Y'all see that? Okay. So if y'all remember the bar Cheers? Does everybody remember Cheers? You got that? Okay. Everybody remembers Cheers. I'm going to see if I can get this to work. So it don't have to be perfect. There we go. Close enough. Very good. So y'all remember Cheers. What was the point of Cheers? Everybody tell me. Everybody knows your name. You know everybody in here? No. We don't even know your story. Some of you don't want to be known. Some of you want to slide in and get out of here. Please don't touch me. I'm serious. Don't touch me. Don't talk to me. And let me get out of here. But some of you want to be known. The knock on the big church was that you come here and you stay a while, then you leave, and nobody even knows I'm gone. Well, of course we don't. How are we supposed to know you don't do anything? Right? So that's the no. So in order for me to know you, got to do something. But then you're saying, you don't know my name, you don't know my story, but then you want me to sign up to serve? Are you kidding me? And we don't even know your name. Why do people go to the bar? That's one of the reasons why people go to the bar. It's because you know me. You know I exist. You know my name. I go because of that. Why do you come? Do you come because somebody knows your name? You're going to hear a story in a minute where somebody didn't know his name. But why do you come? You have to think about that. Is there something missing? Early days of Marathon, we did those things. We would stand at the window like puppies in a window, and watch you get out of the car. We were at Powdersville Middle School, and we would stand like this, and we'd watch you get out of the car, get off your motorcycle, whatever you wanted, and you would get out, and somebody would say, that's Tom. Okay, Tom. Tom walks in. This is the way we did it. You come into the front door, welcome, Tom. He comes down the hall. Good to see you, Tom. Get to the end where the coffee and donuts. Would you like some coffee, Tom? And they thought we were like, oh my goodness. These people are from heaven. They know my name. No, we just, we don't know each other now. The new generation isn't looking for lights and smoke. They're looking for relationship. Somebody really needs to know my name. My daughter, who's 11 years old, will be 12 next. I got that right? Will she be actually 12 next year? Oh, no. Anyway, that was a moment I didn't want to have in front of y'all. She's not impressed with this. She's not. It's about relationships. And we come to church, and we don't even know each other's names. And we go to the bar, and they yell at you when you come in the room, Norm! That's why they go. So something's got to change, and I have an idea what we're going to do as we walk through this. We're pretty guilty of just telling people how to live and what to do without even knowing their story or who they are. Isn't it wonderful? We have drive-by Christianity. Live right, God bless. Live right, God bless, please. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. But you don't know. Listen, you don't know who's out here. You have no idea the pain that's in these seats. I know some of the pain. You should never judge anybody because you don't know their story. You don't know how they got here. You say, I would never do that. You have no idea what you would do. You get in their shoes. You get where they live. Everything changes. You have a special needs kid. How does that work? When you don't get date nights. When you can't go anywhere. How does that work? You see what I'm saying? You say, well, why don't they do this and why don't they do that? You have no idea. What if your child has cancer? You see what I'm saying? We have all these stories out here. All this pain. And we're just saying, live well. No more. It's not going to happen here. We're going to change that. They go to a bar because people know their name. Marathon is going to be the place where we say, welcome home. We are family. Welcome home. We're going to know you. We're going to know your name. You said, you got to be kidding. Well, if you can tell us a lie, we can call you something else. But I'm just saying we're going to do our best to know who you are and know your story. This isn't going to happen in a month, by the way. It's going to take a little while. But we're going to get there. And one of the things in the cheer song, it says, we're always glad you came, by the way. We're always glad you're here. You know what we found out early days of Marathon? It may not be true now, but most people came because of somebody else. That's what usually happens. I'm coming not because of me. Isn't that weird? I'm going because that's how we used to pick churches. Can the pastor speak? Well, there's a whole bunch of people that can speak. So how do you pick a church? I had first-timers I met, wasn't too long ago. And I forgot where I met them, and I saw them, and they came in, and I saw it in their eyes. I went, oh, no, I don't think we're a fit. And the reason why is I had the blue M&M costume on that morning. Remember the blue M&M costume? And I just saw it, and I went, you're not coming back. I don't know if, so I don't know, and listen, does anybody know their name? No. They don't know their story. And sometimes you're not going to let us know those things. It's just what it is. And we have to realize that. People go to a bar because they're known. I want you to know this. You can be where you can see. All our troubles are the same. No one is better than the rest. We are all the same. In the cheer song, that's why people go to bars. Because when I walk in the door, our troubles are all the same. I have a brother-in-law, real quick, I'm going to tell you this. I have a brother-in-law who doesn't come to Marathon. Okay, even he knows the pastor. He doesn't come to the Marathon. He goes to a bar, and several of them every week. Every week he goes to a bar, okay? Does he drink? Absolutely, he drinks, okay? That's some of the things that, what do people go to bars for? Well, they drink your troubles away, or tell your troubles, or tell your story, or find a girl named Trouble, okay? Something happens, or get in trouble. So he goes to the bars because of relationships, not alcohol. And here's what's interesting about this conversation when I have with him. He's always helping people. He's always going to the hospital for people who are at the bar. If they're in the hospital, if they need something, he's always moving them or helping them or visiting them. And he doesn't even go to church. It's because of relationship. And I asked him, I said, why don't you come? He said, because we're not all the same. I said, what do you mean? He says, the church thinks they're better than me, and I'm not going. He grew up in traditional church. So he got this. You're a sinner. You need to go to heaven. You need to live right. And Billy would say, you don't even know my name. At least they know my name. You don't even know my story. You don't know the pain I went through. You don't know where I've come out of Charleston. You don't know the stuff that's happened to me. And you're trying to tell me to live right and do right and have purpose in my life. And then you want me to sign up? I'm not coming. You see what's happened? It's relationships people are looking for. Listen, you may know me, but I don't know you. But somebody needs to know you. Somebody needs to know your story and know what's happening with you. There's a guy here. I want you to meet Corey. Where art thou, Corey? Come on over. Corey is one of these guys that I'm talking about, okay? And you're going to be really surprised to figure out how long it was before somebody knew his name as we go through this.
Hello, Eddie.
Hello, Corey. Before I knew Corey's name, I called him Beast. Just want you to know that because we play basketball together, and you can see that he's a rather striking young man.
I'm not small.
You're not small?
I'm not small.
Are you on?
Maybe.
We're trying.
Maybe. I'm not on.
You're not on. Is it your fault?
It's my fault.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
It usually is.
Is your wife here?
She is.
Okay. There's your wife. Y'all wasn't sitting together. That's interesting. We'll talk about that
She
later.
didn't save me a seat.
Corey has a story. Now, one reason I brought him up, y'all see him up here, right? And you just think everything they're just spiritual and everything's working. But you need to understand that everybody's got problems just like you. So tell me a little bit about how you got here.
How I got here. My wife worked with Darla Bryant, and her husband's Ernie, and he does security out there. If you don't know them, go find out their names. But they invited her. We had moved down to South Carolina back in 2012. Didn't have a church, and so we came, and about 2 weeks in, Ernie found out that I played guitar, and so he just introduced me to Chase. 2 weeks later, I was up on stage, which was kind of rushed for me. We came to church, and I'll be perfectly honest, my wife wanted to find a church to fix our marriage, to help it get better. We were struggling, so she wanted to get into church to do that, and God's worked on us a lot since then. We've both gotten involved in missions, and she volunteers in the kids department now, and I'm up on stage. But growing up in the traditional church, if you saw the video I did a couple months ago, I looked at people on stage like they were better than I was. That you had to have your life together and your stuff together to be up in front of everybody else. So not true. So not true. I still don't. I don't have anything together. I'm still growing. But got involved in missions, and the partner of Phoenix Roasters, one of the guys from there, has taught us that we should be able to tell our testimony in 3 words to a complete stranger. So my first word, do you know what my first word is?
No.
Do you know where we are? So we're at a bar, right?
We're at a right.
My first word. So my first word is where I was before I found Christ. I was drunk, Eddie. Sadly. You can take that literally, but you can look at it at every sense of the word. I was drunk on alcohol. I was drunk on pretty much anything the world had to offer. During college, I didn't pay much attention to church, even though I'd been raised in it. I was saved when I was 8 years old, but it was the traditional. I looked at it as a rule book, and it was these rules you had to follow. If you weren't following the rules, you might as well not do anything at all. But then came my second word. My second word didn't happen until I got here, until I realized that it's a relationship that you have with Jesus, and he's there with you, he walks with you, he's there with you. So my second word was befriended. I found out it was a relationship. It wasn't just a rule book. It wasn't just a way of life. So my third word is where you are now. My third word, I'm still learning, still growing. I'm still learning how to be a better husband to my wife. I'm still learning to be that example of Jesus that he set forth that we're supposed to do outside of these four walls. Not just because, yes, we're supposed to know people's names when they walk in this door, but when we walk out, that's where the community happens. So that's where I am now. I'm learning.
And that's one of the reasons why the chairs are where they are, so that we can actually have community and talk to one another. So watch this. You ready? How long was it before anybody knew your name?
So I've been here almost 3 years. It's been about 2.5, and it was probably close to 2 years before I could come off stage and go into the atrium and somebody knew my name.
Do you think that's a little long? I think that's a little long. I think somebody needs to we need to pay attention to who we have in the room. We want to know your name. We want to know your story. Then God will give you purpose. See, right now, some of you are saying, that's my story. He's telling my story. Raised in church, went away, got drunk, did my thing, whatever, got married. Now I need to save my marriage. Need to get. By the way, your marriage is working pretty good, isn't it?
It's working pretty
That's
good.
pretty good. She's sweet.
Ask her.
Is it working? She said yes. She loves you more than the world. I can keep going on, that kind of thing. But one of the things you have to realize, we all have this problem. We all have a story, and we want to know your name. We want to know what's going on. And this is where Marathon is going to become a family. I have things that I'm going to tell you after he sings. I want you to hear this. He has a song that means a lot to him. I think we sang it in college. Is that where it was? Mm-hmm. And I want you to hear the song. And when I get back from here, I'm right back. I'm not leaving, actually. A few minutes. Lord help me.
Lord help you.
I'm going to share some things with you, and we're going to do something that hasn't been done, okay? All right. Let me give you.
Give me that thing back there.
Okay, and I'm going to play the instrument now. And okay, that's good. That's good. You'll be good there.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So I'll preface this with, it means a lot to me. In those years where I was away from church and I was in college, I would sit in my dorm room and play this song when I felt God tugging at me. If I was in a tough spot or I was just down and alone, it was the one song I could remember from playing back in church. And so I just played it over and over and over again because it was all I had to give. I wasn't living the way I should have been. I wasn't doing anything for him. I wasn't doing anything for the kingdom. I was doing nothing. So this was all I had to give. So just take a listen. And I hope you get something out of it because I always did and I still do.
Lord, I'm tired, so tired from walking. Lord, I'm so alone. Lord, the dark, it's creeping in, it's creeping up to swallow me. I think I'll stop, rest here a while. 'Cause this is all that I can say right now. And this is all that I can give. This is all that I can say right now. And this is all that I can give. That's my everything. Lord, didn't you see me crying? Lord, and did you hear me call your name? Wasn't it you I gave my heart to? Wish you remember where you set it down, 'cause this is all that I can say right now. I know it's not much, but this is all that I can give. That's my everything. This is all that I can say right now. I know it's not much, but this is all that I can give. That's my everything. Didn't notice you were standing here. I didn't know that that was you holding me. I didn't notice you were crying too. I didn't know that that was you washing my feet. But this is all that I can say right now. I know it's not much, but this is all that I can give. That's my everything. This is all that I can say right now. I know it's not much, but this is all that I can give. That's my everything. This is all that I can say right now. I know it's not much, but this is all that I can give. That's my everything. That's my everything. That's my everything.
Thank you, Corey. That's why he's up there, because he can do that and play and sing. Well, where everybody knows your name. It's the three things that we're going to be doing. And I'm going to tell you some more in just a minute. I wasn't going to let everything out. I can't give you everything that's going to happen next year or the year after, but I can tell you a few things that's going to happen. One of the things we do want to know is we want to know your name. We want to know who's in the room. We would like to know your story. That would be for your sake and our sake, try to help you move and find purpose in life. Not just tell you what to do, but help you find your way. Everybody has a Corey story like that, and somebody in this room has got that. So it's a couple of things. We'll get to the section in just a minute, but I'm going to go ahead and share a couple of things with you. I thought about this. I've been working it a long time. One of the things that happens with faith when you trust God for something, it's usually something that you can't do. Most people never like to go there, You don't like to go somewhere you can't help God find it or help God out, that kind of thing. But one of the places I love to live, which is hard, I won't say I love it, but I have to live there, is where I have to put God on the hook. There's no way this can happen without Him. There's no way this can take place unless God delivers. It was the same way 20 years ago when all these contemporary churches were coming out and things were happening. It was only God, and He was the only one that could make it happen. We were just along for the ride. And so I had to make a decision. I thought, well, what do I want to do with the next 25 years of my life? Where do I want to hang my hat? Are we going to say we were Marathon's a shadow of things that used to be, or are we going to be a light for the things that will be? And so I'm not good at just hanging my hat and saying, oh, look what we did. I don't want to live what we did. I want to look at where we're going, that kind of thing. And so I'm going to give you some things about where we're going to go. Where God has been on me, and now we haven't got all the answers and everything done yet, but I'll tell you a couple of things that's going to happen. First thing we're going to do, we are going to be family. You will hear that expression, you're welcome home. We will know your story, we'll know your name, and we want to know your family because we want to help families. And I'm not just throwing stuff out. I don't like to be able to just throw stuff out and say, oh, y'all need to do this and y'all need to do that without having a plan. Here's where we're going to go. So here's what we're going to do first. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to upgrade the children's department. We are going to be about families in all aspects. And when I say all, listen very carefully. We're talking about special needs. Every child that walks in here, we're going to be helping families with marriages, financial stuff, all the things that are going to take place with those families, we're going to help them. One of the things that I want to do that we're going to have to, what I'm telling you is a God-sized move. Okay? What I'm telling you is going to be a God-sized move. We have 84 acres. I want a park. I want a special needs park. I want a market square. I want to redo the children's area, whether it takes 2 floors, 3 floors, or whatever. I want an entire floor dedicated to nothing but special needs kids and families. There's nothing happening here. There's nothing that's going on during the week. These families, the special needs kids, they never get a date. Their marriages are having a hard time surviving. We seem to only cater to one kind of kid, but Marathon is going to be changing. It is going to take millions of dollars. I'm starting out with 2. It's not all going to be able to come from here. You see, I'm not saying you're going to have to give me $2 million, although some of you might, you never know. But where I'm going is outside of Marathon. I'm looking at daycare. I'm trying to use Marathon 7 days a week. That's what I'm looking for. I want to be able to be in people's lives, people's needs, 7 days a week. It's going to require money. It's going to require staff. But we're going to hang our hat there. We're going to help families, and we're just not going to talk about it. We're going to throw money at it, and we're going to throw people at it. That's what we're going to do. I have no idea yet, but I will let you know what it's going to take to do this. Do we need another building? There's a possibility a second floor we're going in the children's area. But whatever it is, that's what we're going to do, and God's going to be on the hook. And I'm going to need you. I'm going to need you to pray for me. I'm going to need you to pray for the staff as we go and we look and raise money to get these things to happen. Because as we walk through, I just talked with DSS this morning. We've always worked with DSS and foster kids and children. But one of the things we haven't done is work with special needs kids in this area, and there's nothing happening. So this is going to be it. This is where it's going to happen. It's going to be on this place and this property, and you're going to have to help me. I don't know how many staff we're going to need for that. I don't know nothing yet. All I know is I can't go to sleep without it on my brain. I can't wake up. I have to get up at 5 a.m., 10 minutes till 5, I can tell you. And there it is. I'm like, okay, I got it. Let's go build it. Because I know how God works. We want to know you. We want to know your families. We just don't want to have church. We want to do church. We want to do it outside the walls. We want to do it inside the walls. I want to have places where families can come, especially the moms and the dads, that can get a break. Let's give a spa day for the family. Let's do the toes for the moms. Let's do something that's not being done. That's what we're going to do. Now, I'm saying all this and opening my mouth, and I have no money to do that with yet. Of course, you're a beneficiary of having no money to begin with, and here you are. This is what God does. So this is where we're going, and I'll need you to go with me and help me find my way as we go. I've already had people come into first service. All kind of things are already starting to happen. It's going to be a year or more before all this stuff comes together. In the meantime, we're going to do what we can do out there. We're going to upgrade the kids' apartment. We're going to have a demolition day. Okay, guys, I need some people that love to just, and women, by the way, I got yelled at. And women, if you like to tear stuff down, you just come on. And you can bring some food with you, and we'll be all right. And I'll give you a list. But we're going to let you know the phases in which that's going to happen. We already have money donated to redo the carpet in some areas. We've got to knock some walls out. And eventually, we're going to redo the whole deal, all the way into parks and market squares and all the things that are going to happen. That's coming. And you say, well, you are crazy. I have been crazy before. I have been really crazy. And you're going to think, well, as we get into this pastor's lost his mind. I know. I certainly have. You can't do one of these churches with your mind. You know what I'm talking about? You have to lose it somewhere to do one of these things. But we're going to move people to the kingdom, and we're going to help families get there. We're just not going to say it. We're going to do it. So here's what I'm going to do. What we have done, we got 3 minutes. What we have done is I have divided your chairs up into sections. And we have created 2s and 4s. Now, some of you have scooted your chair in, you made 5s, and that's fine. But what we have done, we divided up into sections, and we have section leaders. The section leaders are going to be over your section. Now, we don't have them all yet. We had more of the first service. If you're a section leader in here, would you stand up? If you're a section leader. Okay, anybody? Okay, there we go. Like, that's their section, that's her section. What that means is, there she is. There was one over there. Hello, Brenda. What that means is, they're going to know your name. They're going to have a tag, and they're going to have a card, and they're going to know everybody in their section. Now, please forgive them. Give them grace to get there, okay? Because there's a lot of you. They're going to know everybody's name. They're going to eventually know if you're here. We're going to let you know if you're missed. How's that? If you want to be missed. But we're going to know your name. We're going to eventually know your story, and then we're going to move you into purpose. We're going to need more and more volunteers as we move into what we're about to do and the things that are about to happen. So here's what we're going to do, okay? We're not going to touch each other, okay, unless you want to, shake hands or whatever. But we're going to do some music right now, and don't leave, we got one more song, but I got 30 seconds. I want you to try to find out how many people you can meet and know in your section right now. Go. 30 seconds. Talk to somebody you don't know. Find out who their names are.
My heart as you do now. I've made for you a home, a place where love can grow and be found. Talk to me, Jesus.